So African films by Africans from Africa are getting way better and better day by day. I'm talking about execution, cinematography, production design, and all that good stuff. Story approach. So today we're focusing on this specific film that is yet to come out. It's a feature film. The trailer is out, and I'm going to be basing my opinions off just the trailer, especially from the story perspective, in my opinion, of course, production, execution, and all that good stuff. Yeah, let's jump right in. Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Hakeem. I'm a filmmaker, and on this channel I talk about film related stuff, from production to execution, cinematography, and all that good stuff. Today we're focusing on an exciting film that is yet to premiere in September 2025. It's called Memories of Princess Mumbi. It's a unique African film, in my opinion, of course, and we're going to be dissecting best of the trailer. You can find the trailer on a YouTube channel called Paradise City Cells. That's the name of the YouTube channel where you could find this trailer. To me, I'm already excited about the film, and I feel like it's going to be a good representative of Africa itself. It's Afrofuturistic. It's anyway, without wasting any time, let's jump into the trailer. Yes, this is the trailer, and I'm going to be pausing in between and discussing on what I think about certain scenes, the cinematography, the production here and there, the story. It's a very, to me, from an African perspective, it's a unique, yeah. So let's check out this trailer, see how it plays out. But right off from the start, I can tell that this is an Afrofuturistic AI kind of hybrid of a film based off this. It's definitely not real. There's no village in Africa that has this kind of construction. There's no way. But anyway, let's dive in.
I've always wanted to act. I remember I watched films from the 2020s, you know.
Now, just that statement as the film starts, when she says, I watch films from the 2020s, just get me a thought that this is a futuristic kind of film. Some people call it a sci-fi, but for me, I feel like, it's close to a sci-fi, but it's a hybrid of traditional filmmaking and also AI.
And they were amazing.
It was in September 93 when I first saw her during a trip to Malta.
See what I told you? Now that is an AI generated image, but it's well generated because the fact that he filmed this thing in a 4:3 aspect ratio. By 4:3 I mean, for those who are not familiar, it's not our usual 16:9 rectangular screen. It's like a 4:3 TVs from way back. And again, the film Memory of Princess Mumbi, you can tell that he used the 4:3 aspect ratio, and kind of the filming, he can get away with this AI generated stuff, this village that is hanging, these boats, because it's kind of a smart way to go around telling stories, honestly speaking. So yeah, let's move on.
Good friend Damien.
So your main thing is acting, huh?
Yes. We're making a movie.
We were actually thinking of shooting a documentary about the war's aftermath.
How old were you during the war?
I was 19, I don't know, 18 years.
I wonder if things will change. Why would you change his expression?
So now that's another interesting thing about this film is that we are living in a world where people are changing the way they look using AI, right? And it's one of those things that's making this film stand out because it's a total hybrid itself, because within the story itself, you can tell that he's making a film. He made a film of him making a film, and within the film, it's the world. It's that time of it's that generation of artificial intelligence where you have to use AI, to incorporate AI into your daily life, and it challenges us to think that way. That's the other powerful thing about this film. It challenges us to think about what would the world of AI look like from the filmmaking perspective. And there's also another part that I think, I don't know if you guys caught it, but it was when he was saying that he was editing a film.
Making a movie.
We were actually thinking of shooting a documentary.
So you see that when he says he was thinking of shooting a documentary, so basically it's in the world. What you see here is a timeline in editing software where it's AI right now. It exists. It does exist for real, where you can edit something using AI. It's incorporated in some non-linear editing software where you can, and that is what is happening there. I don't know about the copyright with this thing in the trailer, but well, probably that's a story for another day. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is this film is so based off how AI would operate in our world, and that's the world in which we are heading. And I think most people that make films need to think twice when they watch this film, and it's by an African. That's the other crazy thing.
But the war's aftermath.
How old were you during the war?
I was 19, I don't know, 18 years.
I wonder if things will change. Why would you change his expression? Like, are you guys making a documentary about AI or about people? Because right now you're just changing everything.
Mumbi was so anti-AI that she wanted to make the film entirely without.
Now, the other thing about this film is he's trying to tell us that we're going to be living in a world where there are people that are with AI and those that are not. And it's it has started showing the current world where certain people don't want to embrace AI. And on the other hand, there are people that embrace it. And that happens in the film world a lot, and also other fields as well, where people are not advocating for AI, and there are other people that are advocating for AI. And it's a reality that we have to face, that we are living in a world where AI is real, and this guy incorporated it into his film. And I would call it a hybrid kind of film between AI and traditional filmmaking. I can tell he's the cinematography in this film, you can tell that this guy, probably the director, I would say, he's a photographer. I can see the way he frames his stuff. Probably has photography background. If you look closer.
Are you trying to change the whole movie right now?
No, I'm just...
During the shoot, Mumbi and I became much closer.
I like your stuff.
You do?
Yeah, I like you too.
With this professional.
Smile. Look at the camera and smile. Oh, look at how cute you are.
When I was younger, I loved old romantic.
Yeah, there you go. Now that's a problem that we have in Africa. So when it comes to Africa itself, we grew up watching films from Hollywood, of course, that influenced the way we think about cinema and film. And I like that it's something that he incorporated into his film. And he used the AI really smartly, because where would you get a child, and a screen, all this stuff is usually screams budget. It screams budget, it's a smart way of making. I don't know if he got funding for this thing, but creating this kind of scene, it was a smart way of using AI to create, and I believe he used the AI to create this scene. It's something most people making films should be thinking about.
This, when the couples will do anything to be together.
Exactly. You see, there's so stereotypical when it comes to films. And I think we all know what he's trying to refer to here. He had this thought of what love life, and I like that this is a nice twist of romance to the film, where we assume that all love is in relation to what we see in the movies. And here he tried to, of course, he generated all this stuff. We all know which film has this kind of setup, a boat and two couples at the edge of the boat. Of course, we all know, no offense, no pun intended, but we all know that's the Titanic. I like that he incorporates these things that we grew up seeing and thinking, and it's a clear, smart twist of love and relationship to the story that he's trying to tell. I really like this.
What I didn't know at the time was that soon my own life will transform into one of these classical film romances.
We dream so much in Africa. Now you see this, he created a world, and I believe this world has rules around it, a futuristic African world, and I think on a budget too. I'm curious to see who was behind his funding. I know would say that he produced this from 80% of the production, post-production and shooting and everything. He had this vision in his head, and I think with this kind of things like with this kind of stuff that he has put in his film, this is an equivalent of like a spaceship in Star Wars, but this is like an Afrocentric, Afrofuturistic kind of thing. And probably on a green screen, he was able to film himself. I don't know if he's the same guy acting, but this guy probably shooting on the green screen and applying it in of course, in a cooperation with AI and stuff. And he tried to make it more filmic. It has a filmic look, and you can get away with a bunch of stuff with that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, honestly, this is a smart way of going around filmmaking. It's a challenge for most people making films, and also it makes it interesting for people who are watching, his audience. I believe a good number of people would kind of resonate or relate to this film. It's very primal.
Where's my future wife?
Now you see, these are backgrounds, or rather these are things that you can't pull off on low budget. And of course, this is AI generated, or because in the current world, with what Hollywood does, of course they can create it with CGI in a way, a few people, and then they generate those people. But with this frame, I can tell that, he created this world. There's a kingdom. I don't know if it's a dream. I'm curious to know what the story is exactly. But of course, he says memory of Princess Mumbi. Probably there's a kingdom, and there's people involved in that kingdom. You see this entire setup. This screams budget, but some of the ways of saving some money on a film is, going for CGI. But at this current point, I feel like AI is CGI on a budget, if that makes sense. For those who are not familiar with CGI is a computer generated images. You can generate a space, a world with a computer, right? In this and I think this should make us think deeper as filmmakers, depending on what audience we're going for, to think deeper in terms of what worlds can we create to make our stories interesting. Okay, so that's what I think this guy was able to achieve. See, that's not, I don't think this is real. I don't think he went to a location in the Middle East. It looks like him. I mean, it's good. I really like it. Look at this mountain. Like, which mountain would this be? Like, this whole stuff screams budget. The construction, palm trees, it's a smart way of generating this stuff, probably, I think, using AI, of course, and that's my opinion anyway. Now this film is so, like, I don't know if, for those of you who have been to the East African coast, there's few islands. There's Zanzibar, there's Pemba, there's Lamu. And I'm thinking, since he's from Nairobi, he's Kenyan, he's Swiss Kenyan, the director. And he probably, some of these things look like they are from, these scenes look like they're from one of those islands, the cities, the Stone Town. I've been to Stone Town in Zanzibar. It kind of has this look, like the Sultan. Oh, there you go. See, I told you, Lamu. See that thing, Lamu. I hadn't noticed that. I just noticed that right now. Lamu Port. Oh God, yeah. I guess he used some of these locations on these islands because there's this look of the Sultan days. If you go back into history, the days of Sultan, most of these towns that are on the East African coast, Indian Ocean, they have that look that is unique. Zanzibar itself, Stone Town, Pemba, Lamu, and Zanzibar probably are the locations that he probably used. But and yeah, Lamu, you could see in that frame. I didn't think it was, but I just realized it right now that they were in Lamu. Lamu is an island by the East African coast, I think. Kind of jump on a boat from Mombasa and kind of get there. Yeah, so they shot in Lamu. It has this vibe of colonial sultan-like Middle Eastish vibe, you know, and also kind of countries like Italy have this vibe.
And for a brief moment, even if not for long,
The beaches too.
everything was timeless and peaceful.
Yep, there you go. Memory of Princess Mumbi. Yep. Honestly speaking, this looks very promising. It's already in festivals at the time of recording this video. And to me, it's a challenge to us as filmmakers and also film fans, people that watch film for the most part. If you're a film fan and this is a film that I don't know if I definitely think it will get a streaming deal. It's worth getting a streaming deal, maybe Netflix or HBO Max or Hulu, because of course the American giants dominate the streaming world. It's an African film, of course, and this guy went really smart around it. So the director's name, let's look at the director. So who's the director here? His name is, there you go, that's his name, Damien Hoysa. If you could look him up, that's his name. A film by Damien Hoysa. Probably if you just go on Google, look him up. Smart Kenyan brother who has revolutionized, well, he's not reinventing the wheel, but he's just putting his own taste or touch to the film, or rather storytelling in film. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Let's discuss in the comments. Let me know what you think about this film. What do you anticipate? Me, I'm already excited, and I think it has challenged me to think different on the way I write, the way I go about films, because we're heading into a world of AI. I think AI could be a good and bad thing, but it's good that it can help you in, you know, do certain things that you wouldn't be able to do on a low budget if you don't overdo it. Because you just need to think smartly around incorporating AI around our lives, in general lives. AI has come to stay. And guys, those are my thoughts about this film. If you like this kind of content, drop a comment, share the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.